Hello and welcome to Film Seizure. My name is Chuck Moore. With me, as always, are my co-hosts Jeff Arbuckle. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, how's it going? I was a little disappointed you didn't do like a more sultrier Jessica Rabbit.
I know.
Right?
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
I only do sexy voice when it's inappropriate for the movie.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
When it makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, that's
Hi,
Jeff.
Chuck. Hey, how's
Hi.
it going, Chuck?
And then the other voice you heard is Jason Oliver. Hi, Jason.
Hey,
Hey, why would I do...
Please, let's talk about this movie.
Yeah, so why would Jeff bring up Jessica Rabbit? Because we are talking about 1988's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, a Robert Zemeckis film. It's so very Robert Zemeckis to this movie. It's so like...
I mean, Christopher Lloyd's there. It's zany. It's very much in line with what a Steven Spielberg produced thing would look like and feel like.
Yep. And technically, like he's done some stuff like this that are pretty like, wow. Like the first time I saw The Frighteners, I was like, wow. And I know he didn't direct that, but he's an executive producer, and you can feel Robert Zemeckis' handprints all over that thing. But anyway. 1988, a movie that blew me away then and kind of blows me away now in different, same ways, but also different additional ways as an adult.
Boy, it really does hold up, doesn't it?
It really does. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that I don't like the ending, because I do like the ending, but it's about 80% amazing. And then the last 20% is like, okay, this works. This works for this movie.
I was telling Susan is like as a film noir story, it's okay.
Well, it's pretty boilerplate, right?
Yeah, it's pretty boilerplate,
and it gives up the ghost pretty early.
Yeah,
in that sense,
it does. But as like a technical marvel and has like a nostalgia trip. Even when it came out, it was a nostalgia trip. It's incredibly engaging. Yeah,
it 100%. And I was going to piggyback off something you just said, but I forgot what you just said. That's hilarious, considering you just said it.
Technical marvel and nostalgia trip.
So I picked it because can I talk about next week's movie?
Go for it.
Sure.
We're doing. Is it the Muppet Caper or
Great Muppet Caper? Yeah,
the Great Muppet Caper is next week, and of course, Jason picked Phase 4 in the first week of December, following our last movie of last year, which The Quiet Earth, similar. Was it The Quiet Earth?
Yeah, Quiet Earth was the end of November. Yeah.
So anyway, Technical Marvel was the connection to Phase 4.
Yeah, makes sense. Yep.
And then cartoon kind of Muppety connection to the Muppet movie.
Yeah.
So that's why this movie popped into my head, but I hadn't seen it in ages. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was going to say, it's very, very, I mean, we talk about like the boilerplate element of it, but I think that is perfectly fine for baby's first noir movie, right? When you're like 8 years old or whatever, seeing this movie, I think that works.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I can imagine this movie being like parents maybe reluctantly bringing their kids to see this in the theater and then finding out like, holy shit, there's so much cool stuff in here for me.
I wasn't allowed to see this, but I had a different childhood than both of you. But no, I was not allowed to see this. I didn't see this till several years later. I mean, I would have been 9 when this came out. What's that, like 3rd grade?
Yeah.
I was not allowed to see this. Too much smoking, too much drinking, too much boobs. Definitely not.
Cartoons.
Those are all things that Catholics fucking love.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's the funny thing about Catholics. They do as I say, not as I do.
My vices are my own. Don't do them.
But my voice is my passport. Passport.
He's turning into a toon.
I know. It's like, I'm in Toon Town. But I did see this, I don't know. Actually, I have no clue when I first saw this movie. That's kind of a funny thing. So I have no idea.
But you had seen it, obviously.
Yeah, but for sure. Several times. Probably at a friend's house, but I did not see this in the theater. Ever. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did, but my recollection of watching this movie is on a friend's shitty little box TV and laying on his carpet, like watching it. That's my memory of watching this movie. So I'm not sure I saw it in the theater for sure.
My biggest memory of this movie was the merging of the Disney cartoons and the Warner Brothers cartoons, right?
Oh, that's amazing. The only time they've ever done that.
Yeah, that to me,
besides Fortnite, maybe.
Whenever I saw this, I was probably like still preteen. That's what blew my mind the most, because I had access to both of those things, right? Like Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes, and also Mickey Mouse and the Silly Symphony and all that stuff, right? So I got all the cartoon references, every single fucking one of them, even down to like Betty Boop and all of that, right? That's what blew my mind, was like these two worlds combining in a way that still to this day I find astounding. Like, how did that even happen?
How did anyone allow Daffy Duck and Donald Duck to do a dueling piano scene is like beyond me.
Oh, I mean, 100% they wouldn't be doing that today. I mean, Marvel and DC don't even cross over really, even though they are right now. But that took a lot for them to do that.
They wouldn't do it in the movies. That's for sure.
No. Nope.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, this was one I definitely saw it in the theater. I mean, Chuck, you remember, it was all over the place when it first came out, you know?
Oh yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I went, I don't know if my mom took me or if I went with like my brothers or if it was like a whole family thing. But like, yeah, it was definitely something. It's like, yeah, I need to get to that. But no, it's like the only major, like, okay, so like right in the opening, like there's a little bit of Tom and Jerry too, right? With the lady's legs and feet walking around.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Treating Roger Rabbit like Tom. Yeah.
Totally. And later for like the next generation, Muppet Babies would do that very similar thing. Yeah.
Yep. And you mentioned Betty Boop, but Popeye wasn't there. And Tom and Jerry specifically weren't there, but the styles were there. Like the King Syndicate was represented by Betty Boop. But yeah, it's like, I will even go one step further watching this again, which is funny because like, I probably have only ever really seen this movie like 3 times, but everything was in my brain.
Yeah.
Like nothing was new to me watching this. But as I was kind of looking in like the background stuff before we started recording, we were talking about like in Jessica Rabbit's place where she performs, we saw Brer Bear from Song of the South. But when you stepped away, I was telling Chuck, it's like which also kind of makes sense if you think about this in the time frame in which this takes place. Jessica Rabbit's band are like Heckle and Jekyll style crows.
Yeah.
Because they would be kind of like a black jazz band.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of like things that make sense timing wise in the grand scheme of things, like when this takes place in the early 40s.
I think that even the hummingbirds from Song of the South were in there. Like,
possibly, yeah.
It's, yeah. I mean,
which at that time, just a couple of years before this movie was the last time that Song in the South was re-released in theaters. So it would have been in the zeitgeist at that
time. All the stuff with Fantasia, like the hippos.
The hippo, yep.
And the guy playing the broom song. Yeah.
Oh my God, it kills me. I mean, that's all like I don't even know how much, if you put this movie in front of kids today, how would they still catch those references? Or is that
so? Brinley watched it for about not the whole thing, for about 8 minutes, and she showed up when they go to Toon Town, and she was enjoying the references. She's like, okay, I want to watch this, so I'm going to go.
Yeah, the trees and everything, like the old symphony stuff is like totally Toon Town.
Yeah. So she's intrigued and got the references on some of the characters that were in there. Of course,
that makes me feel good about
like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, like all the Mickey, like there's enough in there, I think, that modern children could latch on to because they've survived as properties since we were kids.
Oh, for sure. I love that I love that the characters that make sense were featured together. Donald and Daffy featured in a long scene together.
Bugs and Mickey.
Bugs and Mickey featured in a really good, kind of a classic joke of
Roger's admiration of Goofy, right?
Yeah,
I love
like and when he's watching that Goofy short, right? Like that was one of my favorite cartoons as a kid. That when Goofy sets up his like calisthenics like gym in his apartment, and it's like way too big for him, and it's just like like it's one of the funniest fucking things I ever saw as a kid. Yeah, and honestly, it's probably my introduction to physical comedy.
Yeah,
it's funny how like
it's a classic.
Obviously treats these tunes as if they're real.
Yeah.
Which makes it interesting when you're talking about Goofy not as like just a cartoon character, but an actor that can pull this shit off. Is like, oh wow, that's a whole new dimension to these characters that I love because they're actually just actors in most cases. Yeah.
Yep.
So a couple of things
of his craft.
Yep. Well, a couple of things that I want to talk about specifically about cartoons in general, because like, I mean, when I was little, we used to have, I don't know if we recorded it off of cable or if we recorded it like did like a copy like from a couple of, but whatever. We used to, or I would rent it or something. I don't know, whatever it was. We used to have this collection of cartoons where basically like there was one where Minnie and Mickey and Donald are going camping. And like
that one.
And like the camper's like going off the side of the mountain because the car is driving itself, but it's not doing a very good job of it. Also, in that the Goofy cartoon that was in that one was when he went fishing and he had like a little fish buddy that would go and lead all the fish to him. Oh god, I love that. And I love the Chip and Dale one where they were fighting over the same like basically torch song singer basically. At the like the little inn, like it was basically they were fighting over a Jessica Rabbit style character at like this little nightclub inside of a tree. Yeah. And all of that stuff, that's all my reference to the Disney stuff, not necessarily the more popular Disney movies because I was too old for them when like Little Mermaid, Aladdin, I was a little too old for that by then, but then like also, it's like I was also too old for like DuckTales and like all of that stuff that was on TV later.
See, I was like right in my wheelhouse, and
you were right there,
especially because I had a younger sister, and she watched Aladdin and she watched Little Mermaid like fucking every day for a year.
I can understand. I mean, it's a good movie.
It's so I was like plugged into all of that. Like the early 90s Disney, it's probably what I know the most, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
Yeah. On the Looney Tunes side, now Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry were always my favorite. Particularly Tom and Jerry is always my favorite cartoon. But,
I mean, that's the stuff we saw the most. Disney was kind of protected.
Yep.
Whereas Warner Brothers? Yeah, was everywhere. Or Hanna-Barbera.
Warner Brothers was on like ABC or something. I think like on Saturday mornings. It was like it was the Bugs Bunny Daffy Duck show was the last show every Saturday, and then and like Tom and Jerry was on TBS all the time, and but it's like the I can't remember what I think it was just called the Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner movie. It was like a late 70s collection of old cartoon, but like that was where like Daffy Duck was like Robin Hood and he was going up against
oh my god, that's so good.
With Friar Tuck being Porky Pig and like Pepe Le Pew like is like chasing the one cat and then she ends up chasing him back when she gets drunk.
I remember that.
Yeah. And, and then there was like the whole thing with like Wile E. Coyote was trying to get Bugs Bunny also. I don't
remember that.
That one was one because it was the rarest because Bugs Bunny and Wile E. Coyote had two cartoons in there. Actually, Bugs Bunny had three because Bugs Bunny also had the wraparound. He also had the Elmer Fudd Kill the Rabbit
Kill the rabbit.
Yeah, that whole like Valkyrie thing. But yeah, so it's like that was what I watched those endlessly. And like, yeah, I thought about buying that on DVD and watch it, just to watch it again. But yeah, it's like that was my coming into this. So like to see it, like Jason was saying, it's like seeing it all pushed together was just, it was wonderful. It was like spoiled as a kid, because you realize later when you grow up, it's like, oh no, these are very staunch, like, companies that don't want to share.
Especially Disney, man.
Especially Disney. Well, Disney and Warner Brothers, like, those are the two biggest, at one point in time, they were the kings. And it's like, and they had the two most recognizable cartoon. I mean, again, it's like Marvel and DC won't want to share, and it's like they always want to make sure that each one gets their fair shake.
For me, Warner Brothers was definitely Marvel, like the more, yeah. And it was just more engaging, fun stuff that we shouldn't be watching. Most likely, right. I still marvel at, some of the stuff like Acme, which is, I love the reverence of the actual characters and properties that are done in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like, you could tell they care about the included characters and they're used well. But yeah, that was my groove, was definitely Warner Brothers stuff.
Yeah.
I wish Marvin the Martian was in this. Maybe he's in a picture or something, but there's no Marvin the Martian that I
feel like he got popular later.
Maybe. I loved Marvin the Martian.
I know, but I mean, he was like really popular in the 90s.
When everyone was wearing starter jackets, they all had Marvin the Martian shirts too.
Marvin the Martian and the Tasmanian Devil were massively popular in the 90s.
Absolutely.
Weren't they a big part of Space Jam too?
Yeah, that's probably
but the
you've even got Mr. Toad in here. Like the Wind in the Willows, like that's the Weasels. The Weasels were from Wind in the Willows.
Yes.
Like, man, I mean, Mr. Toad is having his own like renaissance right now. I can't tell you how many times I see people wearing Mr. Toad t-shirts. It's crazy.
Interesting. Yeah. I wonder what that's about.
I don't know.
Maybe they got it by going to Disney World. And because
some of these characters lately have ended up representing something much larger than themselves. Like if you're wearing a Mr. Toad, it might mean something beyond I love Mr. Toad. There might be like some kind of link to, I don't know, I won't even guess, but some kind of movement or some kind of identity.
Well, frogs tend to be usurped into movements quite often.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, yeah. Hey, maybe it has to do with like the Portland guy in the frog suit.
I think it's before that even. So maybe that like influenced it. Who knows?
Who knows? But when you stepped away, Jason, I was talking about the Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner movie from like the late 70s that's got like the Kill the Rabbit and all of that stuff at the end, and like the Robin Hood. But the Marvin the Martian cartoon in that was the Duck Dodgers one, where they keep blowing each other up.
Yep. Classic.
God, that's good.
Yeah, that's really good stuff.
Marvin was always getting blown up and shown in like...
Well, because he had a
staticky, weird way.
Well, he also had like the ultimate, like he would keep escalating, which caused Daffy to escalate until there was nothing left of Planet X.
Duck Dodgers. I forgot that name. That's funny. I mean, I forgot that name.
God, even like, oh my God, Droopy, his scene in this movie.
Yeah.
Going up.
Sir. It's so perfect. It's like they boiled down the essence of all of these characters and made it like completely and totally like shine a spotlight on everything you love about these characters that in their scenes that they have.
That's I think what I mean by the reverence to them, because they are like exhibiting their
Yep. It is exactly right. Yep. Oh, so good.
Good stuff. So I guess I picked
the singing sword.
Oh yeah, that's such a weird thing. It's like just to have it laying about. That's so weird.
I just love like Bob. It was Bob Hoskins, right? He was
Yeah.
like, it was like his reaction to it. This is like, well, this isn't gonna work, and he like,
Yeah, this is useless.
Which, let's talk about Bob Hoskins because
He's perfect.
really hairy.
he's perfect.
He's perfect.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't
joking.
know.
I'm not gonna denigrate any hairy guys.
I didn't
don't
denigrate.
know.
I just
don't
said he
know.
was.
I don't know if this movie works without Bob Hoskins. I really don't.
He's such a perfect foil for Roger Rabbit.
He's just so good.
He's the perfect straight man. He's the straight man
serious enough that he does fit in a cartoon element.
Yes.
Like his faces and his look. Like it's almost
his
seamless
song
with
and
him.
dance at the end is just so good.
That's the best part of the
That's
movie.
Yeah.
so great. So this is interesting to me. Harrison Ford was Spielberg's original choice, which is I could see that working.
His smirk
price,
would fit.
but his price is too high. Chevy Chase was the second choice. I could also kind of see that working, but I don't think Chevy Chase would take it seriously enough. Eddie Murphy reportedly turned down the role as he misunderstood the concept of tunes and humans coexisting. He later regretted his decision. He said it sounded ridiculous to me, and I passed on it.
I fucking love Eddie Murphy, but I
was
don't
like,
see
"Oh,
him.
that's fucking amazing."
Yeah.
Robin Williams, Robert Redford, Jack Nicholson, Sylvester Stallone, Edward James Olmos, Wallace Shawn, Ed Harris, Charles Grodin, and Don Lane were all considered for the role. Bill Murray was also considered for the role, but due to his idiosyncratic method of receiving offers for roles, whatever that means, he missed out on it. So
I only take offers in January.
So this British like short, hairy man,
but a relatively recent Oscar nominee.
Yeah, it's true. Was chosen by Spielberg because of his acting skill and because Spielberg believed he had a hopeful demeanor and he looked like he belonged in the air. He definitely looked.
He definitely belongs in that trench coat.
He definitely does. And here's the thing about Bob Hoskins that was amazing. Did you either of you watch the little documentary on Disney?
No, I didn't have the time, unfortunately.
Oh, it's so disappointing because it's really good. He had an uncanny way when acting without the animated characters, when acting with the animatronics, of keeping an eye line, right? And it's so crucial to this working, right? Because you've got to be able to put your eyes back in the same place every time without really having anything to focus on.
No frame of reference.
No frame of reference. He had animatronics and props, right? And sometimes he had the actor who played Roger Rabbit. He was on set dressed in a rabbit costume.
Charles Fleischer. That's hilarious.
Apparently he does seem like a real piece of work, but he took it very seriously, and yes, he insisted on wearing a rabbit costume. To the point where another movie that was shooting on the same studio set, or not same set, but the same lot, was oh, this Roger Rabbit movie's gonna suck. Look at the rabbit. But anyway, they said that he had this uncanny way of just knowing where to look, right, and keeping that line of sight. And the guy they were talking to in this interview, he's like, look at any movie, any instance where you have a human interacting with an animated character, they never get the line of sight right, ever. Definitely not consistently.
Even today, when you're dealing with so many CGI characters, you can tell when somebody isn't seeing what they're supposed to be seeing.
Exactly. And if you watch his performance in this, it is unbelievable how absolutely locked in he is. And they're just it's not something you can animate around, because he's either looking here, or is he looking there, or he's looking there. Like you have to animate the character where the character should be, right?
Totally exhibited in that Jessica Rabbit. scenes.
Yes.
100%.
He's so perfect in that scene. Yeah.
So in a lot of ways, like that, his performance and then also all of the just like the like tangible haptic moments in this movie where you can see the animated characters interacting with physical objects and interacting with physical like beings, like people, especially like when Jessica Rabbit is like all over Hoskins in that nightclub scene. You can see his jacket moving. You can see like her hand under his trench coat and a reaction to that.
Like the little bump. Yeah.
Yeah. They said that was absolutely crucial to this movie working. And I think they're totally right. I don't think we'd be talking about this movie today if we didn't have that perfect interaction.
There's only one
to create.
There's only one bad, like, and I put that in air quotes, where I really noticed, and it's probably the hardest gag to make happen, which is him getting thrown. Yeah. Like, but who's doing the throwing? Is he jumping? Like, I don't know how they did it.
He's on like a trampoline. He's jumping. Yeah.
And it just doesn't look great. Yeah.
But the thing is like, knowing that you had mentioned that before I watched it, I watched and I thought, you know what though? It kind of feels cartoony. Yeah. So it does kind of fit.
I mean, you could definitely explain it away that way. For sure.
So it's like, I mean, I could tell what you were, but I was like, it feels, I don't know. It's silly. I'm into it. Yeah.
It doesn't have like a real good sense of like physics, I think, is the problem with it.
He looks weightless.
Which is why it stands out. Yeah.
Yeah. He looks weightless. Which for Bob Hoskins is not accurate. I mean, he's not a fatso, but he's not a weightless man.
I was looking at him and I was like, honestly, he's like not that big a guy.
Hey, I'm not going to denigrate not so weightless man, all right?
Yeah. He's not that big a guy.
I'm kind of in the same puffiness, and furriness.
God, you could have played this. The only, I don't want to put a bow on this if you still want to talk about it, but the only actor really that you mentioned that I could even see approaching this, and it would change the movie probably a lot, but Robin Williams.
Sure.
Like he would get those sentimental scenes like so down. Yeah. Like when he's thinking about his brother and stuff like that. Like,
oh my God.
He's the only dude I can think of.
We picture of him and his brother with Joanna Cassidy, the caption
the clowns.
on that, with the floozy.
Yeah.
Fucking killed me.
I'm on a kick right now, but honestly, I could see John Candy having been able to pull this off.
You didn't mention him though, did you?
No, but we were just talking about him before the episode. Yeah.
Absolutely, John Candy. Like, who's Harry Crumb, but in this.
Right. And he's just, like, I think the problem with Candy is his cult of personality would have overshadowed the role, right?
Yeah.
Like, Hoskins is perfect in a lot of ways because nobody knew who the fuck he was.
Right. Like, I have a propensity to feel bad for John Candy every time I see him. Yeah. Just because of a couple roles he had.
Yeah, right.
I feel bad.
And then if John Candy is like acting like a kind of a jerk, we would kind of get the
I don't like that. He would love the tunes. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right. Yeah.
Well, but you're right. I didn't know Bob Hoskins.
Hoskins is like he's a blank slate.
Which is funny because Hoskins is not
brings
in
everything
movies
to it, and it's new to us. Yeah,
he's not. I mean, like he's in other things that we know. He's just under the surface enough to where, he's not taking over this movie, but we certainly know who he is after this movie.
Did he lead a lot of roles? Like, I don't know his career that well, actually.
Look, man, he's not in anything like a 9-year-old would see when this movie.
That's fair too.
Like, well, I mean, I did see The Wall probably too young.
Maybe.
I wouldn't even have known that was Bob Hoskins.
I wouldn't.
But yeah, I mean,
honestly,
like
the only other thing I didn't see Brazil until years later. So no, I mean, no, he's perfect.
Yeah. And so, it's like we could go back now and say, and maybe we should watch something like Mona Lisa
and then at some point. And then he was in Hook 3 years later.
Right.
That's when you were like, oh, I recognize him, but he's also perfect.
Which is the movie that Spielberg hates.
he should. He should hate that movie.
It's a piece
I don't
of
know.
It's okay. Mario Brothers, though. If you
Mario Brothers
hate it.
I was going to say he had to parlay this movie into Mario Brothers or something, right?
Well, Bob Hoskins. I mean, Bob Hoskins said that Bob Hoskins 100% hates Super Mario Brothers. He had no idea what they were doing.
They should have Captain Lou Albano played Mario in that movie or something.
I know, he was already in the role.
Yeah. Leave the rubber bands in his mustache.
Yep.
Bob Hoskins.
No, I'm looking at, like, I've definitely seen a lot of the movies he's in, but you're right, especially before this movie. Even after this movie, I forget him in roles. And I don't mean that as like a bad thing necessarily, but
no.
But the tabula rasa, as you mentioned, was a good thing.
The audience at large, when this movie came out, had not ever even heard the name Bob Hoskins, even with the Oscar nomination.
Yeah, for the target audience, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So,
Mona Lisa, I don't even know that movie. Yeah, what is this movie about?
Yeah, let's get in. Let's talk about the mystery that is Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
And I think it's okay that we spend a lot of time on the other stuff because that's a lot of what this movie still
absolutely
means.
Yeah, and now we can reference it, right?
Yeah.
Footnote 3. All right. Yeah.
Yes. So, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is the sultry tale of Jessica. No, sorry. is first and foremost toons and people existing in the same world. Toons are real. And Bob Hoskins plays, I can't even remember his fucking character name right now.
Eddie Valiant.
Eddie Valiant. I should not forget Eddie Valiant. Thank you. I somehow misplaced my Wikipedia page I usually reference while I'm talking. But yes, it starts with Roger Rabbit in his movie with Baby Herman. I can't remember what it's called, but it's fucking amazing. Whatever. Tummy Trouble. It's freaking amazing. It's like the perfect way to start this movie.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Cause it's like a cartoon cause like there were a couple of like Dick Tracy had a Roger Rabbit cartoon before it.
Right. Like I hadn't seen this movie in so long. I was like, is this like Toy Story when they do a little feature before?
Yeah.
The movie? I was like, oh yeah, here it is. The movie.
Oh yeah.
But it is also perfect because at the end of the cartoon, when they cut, that's when you realize, oh yeah, real life and cartoons exist together.
It's perfect.
But damn, does the animation look good?
Yeah.
Like
it really, it like calls back to everything I love about, Wile E. Coyote and those other cartoons that did this kind of violent save the character thing.
But at the same time, though, it's like this is using new perspectives where it looks really deep, and it's taking all that old reference and putting a little twist on it that makes it so modern.
Yeah, there's only a couple of times in this movie where like the cartoons actually only look flat.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they look like they're in the environment. Sorry, Jason, go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Robert Zemeckis, he talks about this. He's like the challenge of this movie was daunting. We had to essentially shoot a full-length feature, live-action feature. We had to shoot a full-length animated feature. And it was also a special effects film in order for us to merge the two things. So it was like making 3 movies. The animators on this were so stressed out because they had to animate, but it had to animate around specific parameters in order to cover up the animatronic stuff, right? They had to, they also had to animate like 4 different cells for every frame of film because they wanted that sort of like pseudo 3D element to it. So like Jeff was saying, like how it looks like it actually it belongs in a 3D environment. That took a lot of work. That was a lot of like contour and shadowing and they had to layer that. So you're
And how
talking
many
about,
times, like just thinking about like that Jessica Rabbit scene where she's walking around and there's a spotlight on her
Yep.
that shifts every time she changes direction. That is a nightmare if you're an animator.
So they said it was every single animated sequence was basically like 4 different cells. So you're not just animating one thing per frame, you're animating 4 things per frame. Then you're like shooting that composite with the film and hoping against hope that you're covering everything up you need to cover.
That it lines up and
all of the eyesights line up. That's why they were so grateful for Bob Hoskins' performance, because he made a lot of it easy for them. They couldn't believe it. Yeah. It is unbelievably labor intensive. Unbelievably. That's why you don't have a Roger Rabbit 2, right? Because nobody wanted to fucking do it again.
Yeah, the only thing that's come after are just been short cartoon, like actual cartoons.
They're all so proud of it, but they're also like never again. And now with like, digital and computer effects, you don't need it anymore. But when this movie was made, it was legitimately insane. Like the ILM, people at ILM was like, yeah, we know how to do all of this. It's technically possible, but it's gonna suck. It's gonna be really hard. It's labor intensive, right?
How long did it take to make this movie? Did they work long hours, or did it take years?
The animation alone, I think, was 2 years.
Makes sense, because that's what it used to be for a Disney full length feature, was like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it was a long time. But that's why they used to come out so sparsely.
But they also said it was like the most furious 2 years because they were constantly up against deadlines. They were like the mantra, like the guy, I forget his name, who was kind of like the project manager, was essentially like every day he would almost yell out of his office, "Draw faster."
Was that Richard Williams? Was that who?
Yeah.
Well, because he got a special achievement Oscar for the direction of the animation part, which he also won a competitive Oscar for visual effects with like the ILM team.
Yeah.
I mean, they were rewarded, and I mean,
they deserve it, all of it.
Yeah. I mean, because they also got the editing Oscar too, which
what else has ILM done that we know of? Like, I don't know that studio.
Industrial Light Magic?
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's why I didn't know the studio, because I didn't know what I didn't know what the ILM stood for, if that helps. I should have just said, what does it stand for?
For a moment, I thought you were like punking us.
Yeah. I mean, they beat themselves, because Willow was also nominated.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they end up topping themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I hear acronyms every day, so there's so many.
I do too, and I'm like, is this the one I'm gonna end up showing that I'm a super dumbass and ask what it means? It's like that's me every day at work.
I did that twice today. I sent a message to someone asking, like, I can't place what this term is, and then like 5 seconds later, I was like, oh shit, I gotta delete that.
Yeah.
Delete. I know what it is.
I'm going to use this opportunity though to plug the ILM documentary on Disney Plus. It's 2 seasons. It's incredible. It's from the actual like beginning of ILM through to modern day Star Wars TV stuff, and it's amazing. Like if you geek out at all about like practical effects and digital effects, and just like the whole transition from practical to digital with like the computer technology in between and how it evolved, it is so fascinating. And Joe Johnston.
Yeah, I sure hope they start talk about. I sure hope they talk about Star Wars.
Yeah, they do a lot. And Joe Johnston, he directs it, and he's kind of like the spearhead of it. And Joe Johnston,
nice
legend, director and animator. But anyway, the funny thing about it is they don't really talk about Roger Rabbit in the 2 seasons of it. But there is a documentary about the making of Roger Rabbit that's on Disney Plus in the extras of this movie. It's like 37 minutes long, and it's so worth your time, because you really get to, if you're one of those people who don't want to like the magic to be destroyed, don't watch it. But if you're like me and you want to know how the hell the magic trick how they do pull off the magic trick, then it's well worth your time.
Yeah.
That's fun. I'm one of those people that doesn't like it.
Okay.
Like that normally, because I still am like blown away that the cameraman isn't in mirrors. And I'm sure there's a very simple explanation for that, but I don't want to know it.
I'm that guy too. I am wowed by this idea.
Should the cameraman be right there?
Well, there is a mirror scene in this movie that even after watching the documentary, I don't know how they pulled it off.
I watched that scene because you had mentioned it before I got to it. And when I got to it, the only thing I could think of is that it's like a video playback that's in the mirror.
It has to be. Yeah.
That's the only thing that made sense to me.
But the way it transitions from animated to live action with the camera movement, it's just like...
And keeping the reflective nature of the mirror itself is kind of insane. It looks like it's always there.
Yeah, it is. And it's such like a... I want to know who conceived of that scene because it's almost like a throwaway, but it's also kind of like a, hey, look at what we can do. It's a little
probably
bit like
the hardest thing they did in the movie.
Yeah, it probably is. It's like a flex, right? Because everything they're doing in this movie to some degree is conventional, right? It's just a matter of having time and money is what the one guy said in the documentary.
And to make it look good. Yeah.
Right. Yes, because you need time and money to do that, right? But that scene to me epitomizes like a real sense of let's push ourselves. Like let's really fucking show off here. That scene and then the nightclub scene with Jessica Rabbit where you can like see the live action patrons through her dress. It's like this translucent aspect to it, which is just like, whoa. Like that is insane to me as well. That had to be so fucking time consuming to do that and the meticulous nature of that. And it's not, you could not do it. Right. And I think the movie would still be a success, but to me, that is like, hey, let's actually do something that we think is cool. That to me like screams pure creativity on the part of the artisans behind this thing.
And it almost feels like a little Zemeckis-y too, because he likes that shit. Like he's like, let's try to do this.
Yeah, it's pushing the envelope, right? Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, sorry to like derail us again, but there's just like
that's
so
not
many
derailment.
things.
That's the stuff that's great about this movie.
There's so many things about this movie that just like blow me away beyond just like the movie.
I was trying to articulate that to you guys in text, but when I watched this movie, I was more blown away by, hey, it's Daffy Duck and Donald Duck on the screen together.
When you were a kid? Yeah.
When I was a kid. And now it's like, how the fuck?
Yeah.
How the fuck on most of it. 1947 Los Angeles. Good to note there. I don't know if you did any kind of research. You might find that some of the cartoons that are in this wouldn't have existed or shouldn't have existed. But some of them, it almost feels like they're doing their job prior to becoming famous, which is interesting to me.
They're working actors, working
tunes. They haven't hit the role later that we all know them for.
God, I love that.
Well, these characters aren't things that people dream up and draw and make. You assume they're somehow born, right?
Yes.
So they have some sort of life before the thing. Yeah. Like you're
that's
saying,
the depth that I like, that they're actors and like, and they haven't hit, like Bugs hasn't really hit the big time yet, or maybe he has.
But he does look period accurate. He is not the smoother 50s, 60s Bugs Bunny. He's the goofier looking Bugs Bunny.
The hair looking
the hair,
Bugs.
Yeah. And Daffy Daffy's got the eyeballs going in different directions. He's a little daffier.
He's Daffy.
Yeah, that's early Daffy Duck era. Yeah.
Even their voices are more period accurate because Donald Duck sounds a little different.
Well, yeah, because it's Mel Blanc.
Yeah. Well, true. Did Mel Blanc actually do the voices in this?
Yes.
He was still around, right? Yeah.
He died shortly, like a year later. Yeah.
Awesome. I didn't even look into that, like how many of the voice actors were the actual.
What's crazy are some of the other actors, because it's a thing that I'm into.
No,
look in my background here, but like you got Frank Welker does Dumbo, the guy who's Megatron did Dumbo.
Bumbo. Sorry, I should have just let it go.
No, it's fine. But like Corey Burton, who was Grimlock on Transformers. He did the Judge Doom Toon voice, the high pitched,
the later voice. Yes. Yeah. That's it. I mean, that's a whole nother aspect of this movie. Not only are you bringing the cartoons in, you're bringing in all of their original or some of the most famous 80s voices.
Yep.
For cartoons. It's weird because Fleischer, or is it Charles Fleischer? Is that what I said his name was?
Yeah, Charles Fleischer. Yeah,
I don't think he did a lot of like voices that we would recognize before this, but I could be wrong. Like doing Roger Rabbit.
No, but I mean, he was on Welcome Back, Kotter. He was
an actor that we would know.
Yeah, I mean, sure. he was more of an on-screen actor.
Yeah,
but he also did. Yeah, but he was also the sleep doctor in Nightmare on Elm Street.
But not Dr. Sleep and Dr. Sleep.
No, he was not Dr. Sleep and Dr. Sleep, but he was the sleep doctor in Dr. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes.
So did he have any connection to Fleischer Studios?
Don't think so.
That's I don't so see any weird connection. Because it's like, is it spelled the same way?
Yeah.
Fleischer.
I'm going to guess that there's a few Fleischers out there.
I know, but still, it's kind of like a weird thing, right? Because there are some elements of the Fleischer Studios animation in this movie too. And then, that's kind of a pretty prominent name in animation. That's all.
And I said earlier King Syndicate, but that was like the early Popeye before I think he went over to.
I mean, Fleischer Studios was,
but Betty Boop and Superman, and Superman was really cool because it was rotoscoped back then.
Yeah,
which I always like that look when you get a rotoscoping.
So anyway, that's the only thing I wasn't sure if there was a connection, because it's a little bit of a happy serendipity coincidence.
Unless it's his family and not necessarily him, right? Like, that founded Fleischer Studios, but I don't have that.
Well, I know he wasn't like an animator, but if
right, like I'm wondering if it was familial. Yes,
yeah, exactly. That's pretty cool. But I don't know. I didn't do enough research.
Jeez, Jason, this isn't like a
dropping the ball
episode. 1947 Hollywood. That's when this movie starts. And oh my God, I lost my fucking thing again.
So basically after I can step in here real quick. So after he witnesses this cartoon being shot, because it's actually shot. Now, in the book, Who Censored Roger Rabbit? They are actually not cartoons. They are comic strips. And whenever they talk, word bubbles appear and then drop onto the ground, and then they're all over the place. Like they're messy creatures because they have word balloons that accompany their voice. Anyway, but yeah, he is called in to see Mr. Maroon. Because Maroon Cartoons.
I love Maroon Studios.
Yeah, that's who Roger Rabbit works for. And he's like, hey, Roger Rabbit's having some problems. He gets bawled out on set for not having stars appear around him. He has little Tweety birds that show up when he gets hit with the refrigerator at the end of the cartoon. And so he's like, we think his wife is ultimately playing patty cake with somebody else.
Fucking kills me.
Oh God, that's so good. That's so good. And so it's like, hey Eddie, we're hiring you for a Snoop job, basically. And they give him $50 up front with $50 after he gets some evidence.
And Eddie doesn't want to work for Toon Town. We don't necessarily know why yet. But
my God, Joanna Cassidy's delivery of what happened is so freaking good because it's so serious, but it's
great,
insane.
It's great. It's great.
So so basically, it's like I don't want to do this, and so he ends up taking the job because it seems as though he kind of ratchets up his price a little bit. for him. It's like, it's $100 a day. And it's like, well, that's a, what do they say? Something like that's a crazy amount. And it's like, well, that's a crazy job.
Right.
And so, yeah, he ends up going to this, he ends up stopping by the bar.
About $1,100
for a day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. He shows up he shows up at the bar that his girlfriend Dolores, that's Joanna Cassidy, she works there, and he's got to pay off some money that he borrowed from the till, because tomorrow is Friday and that's when everything gets settled up. And she kind of laments that they don't go anywhere anymore like they used. Did they go to Cabo? Is that where they said they went?
They went out of
somewhere,
the country.
yeah. And he's like, we'll do that again sometimes. He's just kind of fluffing it off, basically, by it's like, I got the camera, I got to go do my job now. And
his relationship with her is kind of hanging by a thread, is what the gist you get from that scene. The only thing confusing to me about it is there's an article that shows that they started that bar, I think.
Yes.
So how is did she have to sell it? Like that part doesn't make sense to me when she's like, I need the money back in the tell, because who is she beholden to?
That's
there?
A good point.
But
I don't know.
Anyway, that neither here nor there, just threw me a little bit.
This movie sucks now.
Yeah, I hate it. So many inconsistencies and bad performances from Toon.
Oh God, so bad Toon performance.
Birds
those
instead
weasels.
Stars.
Yeah, jeez.
Jeez.
I think Daffy was really phoning that performance in.
Yeah, he was. Sorry, go ahead.
And basically he goes to the club where it's Toons perform at a people only club.
It's a Toon review, they call it. He said. Yeah.
And as he's kind of sitting down, like the whole thing between Daffy and Donald's happening, where it's like they're like doing what Daffy Duck always does, escalating things to where like they end up like Donald ends up shooting Daffy's piano with a cannon.
Yeah.
Which startles Eddie, which is great. Yeah. But while he's sitting there, he's talking to Marvin Acme, who is the owner of the Acme Corporation in Toon Town, and Toon Town, rather. Not in Toon Town, and Toon Town. And he's like, I never miss a Jessica performance. Yeah. And he's doing like the whole squirting the cologne on him and like that little puffy squirter.
Oh yeah, like
the street vendors with the suitcases with shit in them, the zapper hand.
It's like the flower perfume.
Yeah.
Or flower ink.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got like he shakes Eddie's hand. He's got like a buzzer on. He's like, "Hey, I'm Acme." But
he does.
I mean, he acts like a Toon.
Yes.
But he does squirt disappearing ink on Bob, which is important.
Yes,
on Valiant. Excuse me.
And he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's disappearing ink. Hey, I'll shake your hand." I would not want to sit next to him at a Toon review. Let's just put it that way.
No, especially if he's got a Jessica Rabbit boner.
Yeah. Because it turns out Jessica Rabbit, by the way, is a Tex Avery inspiration character.
Yes.
Makes sense.
And Stubby K, who plays Marvin Acme, turns into a Tex Avery character just in human form. Because he loses his shit the moment she comes out.
Yeah.
And you know what? 1 million cosplayers were born that day. And I'm not going to argue with that. I'm not going to fight this. I'm going to let that happen. Anyway, Chuck, take it from here.
Why are you going to do this with me? Okay, so
Chuck's got a Jessica Rabbit boner.
Eddie gets thrown out of the club because he was snooping at her door, and he realizes that Acme has gone into the room, and he's looking through the peephole, and that's when we have him getting thrown out by the gorilla. It's a gorilla, right?
Yes.
I think.
Because he also performs some casual ape racism at him when he gets thrown out.
Yeah, it's
because he goes,
bad.
"Ook, ook." Yeah.
Yes. We have to make that connection though, right? It's not like it's
well, he's got some serious issues with all Toons.
Yes, absolutely. But I'm saying
because
like, in the movie,
Joanna, we did skip over that real quick with the Joanna Cassidy, because like he goes off to do the job, and because like a couple of the other bar people asked why he wouldn't do a job for what's his problem with Toons, and she's like, his brother was killed by a Toon. They dropped the piano on him. And it's so serious. And the words coming out of her mouth are so ridiculous. It's
and
perfect.
like she walks to the front of the camera like she's about to deliver like this really harrowing thing. And everyone behind her is looking at the camera like, so it's perfectly like delivered as a joke, but also gives you good information about the Valiant character.
So he does not like. Now the only Toon he does seem to like is Jessica Rabbit, because he cannot believe that a human looking Toon would be married to a goofy ass little rabbit guy.
Yep.
But all the women apparently love Roger.
Oh yeah, because Betty.
Betty
what
Boop,
a lucky girl.
I like I like the respect that Eddie has for Betty too. It's like he's been around. There are little moments in this movie where you kind of get a sense of Eddie. He's been around the block. It's not like he hasn't interacted with Toons in his past, right? It's just he's had a rift.
He's disappeared. Yeah,
that's your first glimpse into the fact that he used to be close to them.
Exactly.
And Betty is like the cartoon in this movie that probably relates most to the style, like, and what Eddie would do. She's like, she would be in a film noir. And I love,
and I love her comment about like having trouble getting work since they started doing them in color, right?
Yes. So
it's like that,
but she still got
it. Talky like thing. Yeah, but I've still got it, Eddie. Yeah, you do, Betty.
And that's a sweet little moment, and it shows that he is still a good guy.
Yeah,
he's rough around the edges, but he's got a heart.
There's a sensitivity to him. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Chuck. Yes, so he's been thrown out now.
That's all right. I know how you feel now. This has been thrown out, and he's taking pictures, and it's obviously an innuendo, but I can't even see it. Jessica starts making like lustful sounds, and you're like, "Uh-oh, they're doing it in there." But it turns out they're playing patty cake.
And when he's showing Roger Rabbit the pictures, and he's like flipping through them, and it starts to animate.
It turns a commercial. Or not commercial, an animation. It's so fucking good.
Yeah. And he is completely despondent. Like he can't believe that she would play patty cake with somebody.
Yes, not my Jessica. Somebody put her up to this. That was my best Roger Rabbit. Don't ask me to do it again.
Yeah, it's good enough. It's good.
And then one of those haptic moments where I think it's not animated is Roger's like, he's pissed off, and they give him a drink. I guess this isn't the moment yet, but they give him a drink, and he has an episode. So whenever he has a drink, he like flames out and screams real loud and breaks glass, and it's actually a pretty crazy, wild scene. Blows the bottle of bourbon or whiskey out of Bob Hoskins' hand, and I mean ice. I'm surprised you didn't mention that, Jason.
Oh yeah,
I know, I love it.
But anyway, Roger like blows through the window like a Warner Brothers character would do. That leaves the body. I'm like, that actually looks really good.
Yeah,
how they did it. Yeah.
Well, and then Eddie's like, "Hey, he took that pretty well."
Yeah, he took that pretty well. So Roger had just looked at those pictures and was despondent and ran out of the house, or ran out of the building. And then Bob goes back. Valiant, goes back to his apartment, and that's when we get the Valiant brothers kind of backstory. We know that he died by getting a piano dropped on his head. But they used to be partners at Valiant and Valiant, and they primarily help Toon characters with their legal issues or whatever. So they were detectives for Toon Town in most cases, right? There's a couple newspaper clippings that allude, Jeff would probably know exactly what they say, but allude to their great work with the Toons.
Yeah.
Once the Toon killed his brother, Valiant is like, I can't do this anymore. Anything from that particular scene that you can add to this, Jason, or should
No, that's about right. What's right after this?
That's the part I wish Jeff was here for. I think, the next morning, like, Valiant has drank himself to sleep at his desk, and a cop shows up. I think he's a cop, detective, whatever, captain. Yeah. I don't know who he is. And he's like, I've already got a body on my hands.
Yeah.
We don't need another one. And it turns out that Acme has been murdered. And the evidence
and he's kind of like blaming him a little bit for like muckraking, like UPIs, like you gave this information to the rabbit, and now the rabbit's killed the guy.
Right. You caused this death to happen.
Yeah.
So Acme has been murdered. Roger is the prime suspect. So they go to look at the scene of the crime where Acme has been murdered. And this is where we meet Judge Doom, played by a maniacal fucking Christopher Lloyd.
He's so good, man. When is Christopher Lloyd bad, honestly? But, yeah.
Yeah,
there's not like a lot of nuance to this character, but man, he's like creepy and hilariously over the top.
And he gets especially creepy at the end.
Yeah, he's a cartoon villain, right?
His veneers are like the veneers, and the fact that his name is Doom, Judge Doom, and he's wearing like a black trench coat and a black hat should pretty much tell you he's the villain.
Yeah, they give up the ghost here pretty much to a point, because he even shows his dip.
Yes.
In this scene, which is
you're right. It's not. There's no question that he's the villain. The twist is pretty good, though.
Yes.
Yeah, and they do. I mean, they even. I mean, the cop who is with Eddie even says like he bribed. He bought his way to that jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So
he's the judge of Toon Town. Just for clarity. Yeah.
And he bribed his way there, and so he's crooked as all hell. So it's like there's no ambiguity here, which is fine. I mean, it's cartoon villain.
Yes, I mean that kind of like blows holes into anyone claiming this is a good noir, because it's
Well,
but
like
it's fine. It's fine for the movie.
I'm
not. I'm not begrudging it that aspect.
No. I mean, the style is there, and that's enough.
Yes, we get the dame.
Yeah,
and the dame doesn't even do the hiring, though. Really?
No, I mean, and to be honest with you, there's two sides of it too, right? Like you've got two things crushed together, because there's a dame on Eddie's side and there's a dame on Roger's side.
Yes,
and they're at both times, and different times, both of them are imperiled over something.
Yes.
Too. Yeah,
that is accurate. So yes, we find out here that Judge Doom is going to find Roger Rabbit, and he's going to dip him in the dip. He's the judge, jury, and the executioner, basically, of Toon Town, and he's going to eradicate the world of Roger Rabbit.
He kills that poor shoe. That wasn't called for.
Yeah, the shoes fall out of the box, and he's like, "I'm gonna make an example of the shoe that's sniffing my leg."
I love the high kicking German boots that are wandering around. Yeah,
like you could watch this movie with the sound off and just look.
Oh
yeah.
For references, like not pay attention to the story at all, and just look for that stuff, which is pretty cool. This is when Valiant goes home, and baby Herman is on the stoop outside his apartment, right? Or outside his office apartment. I guess he lives there too. Because his bed is, he pull on his file cabinet.
Oh, yeah.
To get the bed to come out. So Baby Herman's outside and he's trying to tell him there's no way Roger's guilty. That's just not his style. He wouldn't have killed anyone, even if he knew that Jessica was cheating on him. But Valiant's not having any of it, so he throws Baby Herman in a stroller away. Just to clarify, Baby Herman is a 50-year-old baby.
Yes, 50-year-old with a 3-year-old's dinghy.
Yes, that's what he says, huh?
But he does say something really, really important, and that is that Marvin Acme was going to bequeath Toon Town in his will to be owned collectively by the Toons.
Which in the article or the police report stated he did not have a will. And that's what Herman found peculiar and he brought to Valiant. And Valiant's like, oh. And then he
doesn't really want to get involved in this.
No, at this point, he throws Herman away. He doesn't decide to get involved until he goes into his office, takes a drink, and puts his cup down on a picture of Acme, which was in the newspaper, and he can see that
last will and testament is out of his pocket. Yeah,
is in Acme's pocket.
And but he's like, and so he just decides to get drunk and think about his brother.
Well, that was earlier.
Was that early?
This is when he goes to
That is right. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
We talked about that while you were
Yeah. Right. I just had the scenes mixed up because the detective comes and gets him at that point.
To go to the scene and judge him. Yep. This is where he goes to the file cabinet because he's going to take a nap. And you see clearly a lump in his bed when he pulls the file cabinet down. He lays down, and then you have that moment where two characters are frightened by each other. Roger Rabbit has come to
He didn't know where else to go.
Yeah, he didn't know where else to go, and he knew Valiant was a helpful guy.
Yeah.
Can you take it from here, Jeff, for now? This scene with the weasels?
Yeah, so basically, Roger. So at one point, Roger, it's like Eddie's like, I don't want any part of this. I don't want any part of this. Whatever. Roger ends up handcuffing himself to Eddie, and Eddie's like, you big dummy. I don't have keys to get out of these. We're stuck together. And oh no, now the weasels are here. And they want to rough up Eddie, or they want to quote unquote question Eddie about the whereabouts of the murderer, Roger Rabbit. And so they do this whole thing where basically it makes it look like, at first you think, Eddie's doing his dishes, and he reveals, oh, I'm cleaning my socks. And, while most of the weasels are looking around, but really what he's done is he's stashed Roger Rabbit in the dishwater.
Yes.
And, they eventually leave, and, Roger was like, wow, that was really cool. It's like, so, and then, Eddie's like, well, we gotta take you someplace, basically. And he says, well, we'll take you to the bar. They go to the bar so that they can, hacksaw the handcuffs off. And we find out at that point that this is kind of a remnant of the speakeasies, right? So you've got you've got the back room where they can peer out and they can see what's going on in the bar, but they also have a bunch of other tools of Eddie's typical trade that he might be able to use to kind of free them. But this is one of those things where it's like, Roger pulls his hand out of the handcuff to hold the table so that he can saw a little bit more easily. And Eddie's like, what? You could just slip out of it? And Roger's like, oh, well, I can only do it when it's the funniest to do it.
Yes. Roger's such a prankster, that little fucker.
But yeah, he ends up getting the handcuff off, and basically is going to say, all right, Roger, you got to stay here. Don't be seen. And I got to go check a few things and I'll be back. But what does Roger do, Chuck?
He ends up putting on a song in the bar and performing for all of the locals. Like a lunatic.
He's got to do what he's made to do. He's got to entertain people.
He's like, I got to make people laugh. They won't blow me in. Because that's what Valiant, when he arrives back, is mad about. He's like, what's his name will blow you in at any moment. He's like, not if I made him laugh.
Mm-hmm. Like, and he's like, oh, that's all it takes, huh?
Yeah, that's all it takes. And that gets tested here real soon because Doom shows up with his weasels and they're tearing the place apart and questioning everyone. And he looks at the record and he kind of realizes, like, no human would play this song.
Right, yeah. Well, and also, did you guys talk about previously how the weasels have a real bad time with keeping their laughter under control?
Yeah.
No, because I didn't know it was mentioned before this part.
It was mentioned when they first showed up, and it's mentioned here again because they throw the record and one of them catches it in his mouth, basically.
You're gonna
like
laugh yourself to death one of these days.
Yeah. So that's bookmark that.
Yes, definitely bookmark that. It is important. But then Doom, I can't remember what he calls the game. What does he call the game when he's knocking on the walls? I wish I wrote a note. He said something.
What? Yeah.
Oh, it's shaving a haircut.
Shaving a
haircut. Shaving a haircut.
Two bits. Yeah.
2 bits. Thank you.
Yeah, but Roger can't resist it. He can't resist it.
No tune can resist it.
You can't set it up. No tune can resist it. You can't set it up the perfect, like, original, not original, but like the classic joke, and you can't finish it. Like, no showman can not finish the hair in a Jesus Christ, shaving a haircut. Yeah,
it needs to be completed. So he starts knocking.
You can see him like struggling. He knows he can't do it. That'll get him in trouble. But he's like, every ounce of his body wants to like finish the joke.
Yeah. And Eddie's like, don't do it, Roger. Don't do it. You gotta fight it.
So yeah, Doom is knocking on the wall, the dun, 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 or whatever it is. The
shaving the haircut part.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he's knocking it out, and eventually Roger slides out through the door on his knees, or through the envelope hole, I think, on his knees, and he's like, 2 bits.
It's so good.
Yes. And Doom brings in Dip, and he's gonna dip him, and Valiant has the brilliant idea to give him a drink because he remembers how he reacts when he has a drink, and he's
all of this is perfect cartoon stuff because it's like first he's got to get Judge Doom to agree to let somebody have one last drink.
Yeah, or their last requests, any last requests.
Yeah, it's like, I think you want a drink, and the fact that Doom just buys it is like, well, I don't see why we can't. It's very cartoonish.
It's very cartoon, but it's all like classic villainry, right?
Yeah,
like westerns. It goes way back, and then the hubris of the villain is like they want to be able to be like a stand-up guy before they execute the.
He's an illusion
their
kind of to keep, right?
Yeah. And then he's like, no, I think you should have a drink. He's like, I'm trying to quit. It's like, you want a drink? No, I don't. You want a drink? No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. No, you don't. Yes, I do. It's like it turns it around.
I love that. I really love that. Nobody's going to tell me what to do.
And we've all done that with somebody in our lifetimes where we do that switcheroo.
Oh yeah.
When someone keeps saying no, you say yeah or whatever and try to get.
I mean, I can't think of rabbit season without thinking duck season.
Yeah. So anyways, he blows up as Roger does when he drinks, blows all the bottles up, as he's screaming, and Valiant and Roger escape. And they're trying to steal the Weasel's car. And then Roger hears someone talking in the back, and it turns out it's a talking cartoon taxi cab.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I got our way out of here. So they let him out, and he drives them to safety.
Benny the cab.
Benny the cab. Now I'm trying to remember what happens next.
Benny.
Well, it leads to a whole chase where they have to pull the lever to lift up the tires, to drive
the
over
legs.
something.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, and then drop down to not get the bridge, and then they eventually. Did you also mention that Roger had the love letter to Jessica? He was so upset, he decided to write her a love letter, to which Eddie was like, well, that's weird. And he's like, well, I happened to find this perfectly empty blank piece of paper to write it on. Keep that in mind for later. And all the love letter says is, let me count the way, or how I love you, let me count the ways, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. That's all it says.
Roger's a knucklehead.
Yes. Big old knucklehead. But they eventually
they go to a movie theater.
They go to the movie theater at this point because Roger is watching the Goofy cartoon. He gets mad when the newsreel comes on. He hates the news, don't we all? And he gets he wants a front row seat to swoon over Eddie and Dolores having a moment too.
Yep.
But yeah, they decide basically
the
she
news
has
uncovers that Cloverleaf is buying something, I think.
Which also Dolores is, because Dolores also discovers that that Maroon bought a bunch of land too. Because she went, because they split up at one point, and she goes to the place where like basically the estate is going to be turned over from Acme.
And she found out that Maroon or Cloverleaf put the biggest bid on the estate.
And so stuff is starting to come together for Eddie, and he's going to go and talk to Marvin directly.
Right. And if they don't find the will, whatever sale is going to go through at midnight. Effectively, the deadline has been set for Toon Town being owned by Cloverleaf.
Cloverfield.
Cloverleaf. Whatever.
Cloverleaf. Yeah,
okay. I wouldn't be surprised if I got it.
No, Cloverleaf was but no, I was just.
I thought of Cloverfield 2 when I saw it. When I was watching it. Yeah.
Yeah. But they, and so basically, he goes to Acme believing that he is behind it all, and that Maroon is behind Acme's death, and that he has Acme's will. And outside, Jessica ends up knocking Roger out.
Yes, because Roger's supposed to be keeping guard for him if somebody comes. And she knocks him out and throws him in the trunk of her car. And while Valiant is accusing Maroon of all this, the long gun handle thingy comes through the window and shoots Maroon a couple times.
Yes.
And which tries now to shoot Eddie too.
Right. So there's a little bit of what's going on with Jessica thing.
Right. Was she involved in this, or
in the book, she is a villain. Technically, because she has divorced Roger for her ex-husband, and she is not a trustworthy character.
Interesting.
Anyway, so basically at this point, it's around this point that they go into Toon Town.
Yes.
And to get there, they have to drive through It's basically like a tunnel, like a bridge tunnel.
Yes.
And they come out and it's bright and sunny and everything is singing and Eddie hates it immediately.
Yes. Yeah, because he still has this hate of Toon Town.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is so frantic here. It's hard for me in my brain to like put everything that happens together.
Well, at one point he has to go find Jessica because I think Benny explains that Jessica took Roger. Right?
I think, yeah, I can't even remember why he decides to go into Toon Town. Let me.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Eddie sees
Jessica leaving. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, assuming that she is the assailant, he reluctantly follows her into Toon Town. Right. So then, right. He ends up thinking he finds Jessica Rabbit only to find, like basically a hag.
There's actually this really cool thing quickly where he's like, he takes a box out of his car and he opens it and it's an old cartoon gun with 6 Western bullets in it.
Yeah.
And those bullets are all like we saw Yosemite Sam earlier in a really great little cameo, but this is like those old Yosemite Sam like cartoons or like, I don't know, the Cram-On guy from Tom and Jerry, the little mouse.
Yep. Yeah.
You feeling frisky tonight, boys?
Yeah. So good. And he grabs his bottle of whiskey and he's like kind of going to take a celebratory drink because he's decided I'm back. And then he dumps the alcohol instead and follows into Toon Town.
Well, he throws the bottle and the Indian bullet gets that and chops it with a tomahawk.
Yeah.
True.
I love the look of when he drives through the tunnel too, and when he goes into Toon Town.
Oh yeah, with the big sunny. Yeah, we talked about the
sun and all the dancing trees and
how much he hates it immediately.
Yeah, that too.
But
like you were saying, he finds a door that has a woman that has the
From
figure
behind.
of Jessica Rabbit through like the glass with just a silhouette. And then he opens it and it's just a ugly hag, like
Lena Hyena. Yeah.
Yes.
So in my for our big final in German class in high school, this when I was was I a junior or senior? I don't remember. Anyway, we had to put on a production that we had to write in German, and we did. And so I came up with the idea of doing it all as like a bunch of fairy tales. Like we had, my friend Dan was Tin Dan. He was the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz. I ended up showing, like, they all had to go and find Rapunzel. And I grew out as much facial hair as I could, and I played Rapunzel. And when I turned around to find the hero with Tin Dan and all of that, I would shout out, "Hey man!" Because of the stuff like this. This was in all the cartoons growing up. Something like this with Lena Hyena.
That's hilarious.
That's a weird story.
I didn't take German class all that seriously, but I don't know if it's weirder that I came up with the idea or that everybody else went for it in the class. So it's not all on me.
No, that's fair.
There was only like 5 or 6 of us in that class. That's why we had it was like one big.
I don't know why, but that reminded me of like Young Frankenstein, the Frau Brücker.
Yeah.
Anyway. Wow. Okay.
So yeah, he ends up in an alley, and he thinks Jessica is going to shoot him, not realizing that there's a shadowy figure trying to kill Eddie.
Yeah.
And she basically shoots past Eddie to scare the one guy away.
A pretty classic.
Yeah, and he ends up trying to shoot him with the cowboy bullets, but they're all idiots. They go the wrong way.
Which way did you go, boys?
They went this way, and they go the opposite way.
Went left. It totally did not. Yeah.
But she ends up killing the assailant, which was just the shadow, right?
No, she shoots the assailant, and it ends. She shoots at the assailant. It ends up that it's Doom, but he runs around the corner.
That's right.
That's when Eddie shoots his shot, like after Jessica had already shot.
That's right. They didn't. Yeah, they don't. You're right. I thought they did end up hitting something there, but yeah.
So we find out it was Doom that was trying to kill him, and he had the same gun that we used to kill Acme. And then Jessica explains that she believes it was Doom who killed Acme, and that he is making a play for all of Toon Town.
Yeah. And so they end up, so he's like, all right, well, I'm going to send, basically Roger, he meets back up with Roger, and he sends Roger and the cab out in to get the cops, basically.
Yes. But Doom is waiting, and he's dropped some dip on the ground, which kills the tire. Like, basically, we think that the cabbie is dead. Eddie,
knocks his tires out. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
But this should probably kill him because he's been dipped. I've been dipped.
Well, he slides out of it because he slides out of it into a phone pole or into
and then he closes his eyes, so it looks like he's maybe died. Is all I'm saying.
Sure,
it looks like it. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm basically
Doom takes Eddie, or not Eddie. Doom takes Roger and, well, now I don't know. I can't remember if it was. Does he take Roger and Jessica now, and then Eddie has to find them? I'm having trouble. Like I told you, once it gets to Toon Town, this movie like kind of unravels.
Well, Doom definitely captures them.
I'm just not sure which two were in the cab for sure. I think it must have been. I don't know.
Well, they capture Jessica and Eddie and Roger all at once, basically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really basically it because, they take him back to Acme's warehouse to basically reveal the big plan that he's going to build a freeway, to which Eddie's like, that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard of. So now it's Chinatown.
4 lanes from here.
I was going to say it's a very Chinatown.
Yeah.
People will stop. They'll have to drive through and stop at gas stations for food and this. And
quickly prepared food.
And that's like a joke. Obviously, as kids, we would have been like, no, I don't understand this. But as an adult, I'm like, that's fucking great.
Yeah.
It's a great joke.
Well, there'll be car dealerships there, too.
Yes. So effectively, Doom won in this movie in reality, not Eddie.
Yeah, in the long run. Yeah. I mean, we killed those tunes.
Yes, they're gone.
They're long gone. They're all gone.
Yep.
And so basically at this point, it's like Eddie, Doom has the weasels tie Jessica and Roger up basically, because Roger does come in thinking he's going to save the day because he has always been he's always been a fraidy cat, right?
Yes.
But he totally fails. But the effort is enough to make Jessica swoon for him for the rest of the movie, basically. It's just the effort is all it takes.
My hero.
Yeah, effort is all you need, guys.
Yes.
Anyway.
Proven true throughout history.
Pretty much. But anyway, so but they tie them up and they are going to break through the wall right when the ownership of Toon Town transfers over to Doom, and they're going to dip the whole fucking place.
With a giant spray gun.
Yes, and a big giant machine, like a big truck with a bunch of dip in it.
Yeah.
And Doom gets hit in the eye with something, and he's got to go take off because he's covering that eye pretty suspiciously, because at one point we do learn that the Toon that killed Eddie's brother, he never knew who it was, but he could always remember the high pitched laughing and the red eyes.
And his red eyes.
Yeah. But anyway, so now this leaves the weasels in charge, which they're a bunch of idiots. They're just a bunch of knuckleheads. And so Eddie comes up with the idea of put on a little song and dance for them
to make them laugh to death.
To make them laugh. And they do, and they die from laughing.
It's really great. Honestly, the first one who dies and his soul comes out of his body, that really should be a GIF of like for when like somebody makes a joke and you laugh so hard you're dead. Like that should be like a really
100%.
I don't know why it's not. Yeah.
Make it and let's start using it.
Yeah.
Let's start using it.
Let's start using it. I'm dead now.
Let's spread the news.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. And it's like the second one who dies, he tries to grab his soul to keep it. And then when it takes off, he just dies. But yeah, so this ends up working, but then Doom comes back and, he's not an easy customer to begin with. And it looks like he's going to end up, like winning the day or whatever. But
he
eventually,
gets flattened by a steamroller.
Yeah, he gets flattened by a steamroller.
Eddie's like,
he uses a glue gun.
And he gets like sticky glue to the steamroller roller, and he can't get off of it, and he gets flattened by it. You think, ooh, we've won the day, but no.
He gets back up, and this is it's nightmare fuel.
Yeah, it looks really cool because he's like, that flat cartoony, and then he like blows into his thumb to like inflate his body again. It's very
inflate himself.
Yeah. It's perfect.
And he pops his eyeballs out, and he's got the red eyes.
Yes.
And he starts to talk in a high pitched voice. It's bad news, guys. It's bad news. It's nightmare stuff. He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy.
He's a Toon.
But yeah, it turns out that he is indeed the Toon that killed Eddie's brother.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. But Eddie manages to spill all of the
he gets the cartoon mallet thing and breaks
breaks the spigot.
Yeah. He broke the spigot, and that like is spraying out, and it hits Doom, dissolving him, and then I don't know how the machine started moving, but it breaks through the wall into Toon Town. Like it just drives through the wall that they had exposed a little subsection to show this is where we're going to shoot this shit into there. And it gets hit by a fucking train.
You guys there?
Yes.
Yep, we're here. We disappeared for a moment there. The train the machine goes through the wall and gets hit by a train, and that's victory for everyone.
Yep.
Victory. Indeed it is.
I do. This ending is perfectly cartoony. It does lose me just a little bit, and I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's a nice bow for the kiddos, right? It's like they end up. He ends up basically. It's the cops end up showing up because Benny ends up getting the cops, and they end up also Dolores shows back up, and they make mention that he's got a little ink on his shirt. He's like, oh yeah, Acme hit me with the ink at the club.
Yes.
And he ends up saying, or it's like, and then Roger's like, no, that's invisible ink. He's like, that's right, invisible ink. Hey, you got that love letter you wrote to Jessica? He's like, I do. And it ends up, like basically the ink comes back. He's like written it in invisible ink.
Will he wrote in invisible ink like a dummy.
Right, and it came back just in time. So it came back just in time.
And he left like he had mentioned, like Acme it was Acme. Had mentioned he did leave Toon Town to the Toons.
Yeah.
So now they're in.
It's a Goonies ending.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
I wish I could remember the Spanish, the ladies yelling when she realizes the gems are in the purse. I would start doing that right now.
But all the Toons are having a good time and celebrating, and everything looks great. And you think that, because Roger's like, hey, Eddie, you're a pretty good guy. And he's going to give him the handshake, and it's got the buzzer
Yes.
on it. And Eddie looks mean. And he's like, uh-oh, are you going to, did you already lose your sense of humor, Eddie? And all the Toons are like recoils, like, oh, did he? And
yes,
then he's
but
like,
he has not.
He is not, because he's like, what does this, how do you like this? And he kisses him. And he's like, oh, Eddie's a good guy. And
And then they all walk into Toon Town.
Yep.
Fucking Marvel. This movie is a marvel. Like, that's what I love most about it, is that I cannot believe it exists, I guess is the best way to say it. and that they were able to get the properties they were to appear in this film. Like, they weren't knockoffs. They're the actual fucking properties.
Yep.
I don't know how that happened. Like, this is a movie I should watch more than I have over the last 40 years or however many years it's been.
Especially considering like all the drinking and the smoking, and like this movie came out and like maybe the only time this crossover could have happened. Right? The only time when kids our age would, and I know you couldn't watch it, but where parents would have been more lenient with this stuff. Like, Beetlejuice is no better than this movie, and we were all allowed to watch that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. It's just like, man, it is kind of a miracle that the movie exists, both because of the licensing aspect of it, but also the sheer physical labor that this movie required is astounding. It really is.
And it does prove out the fact that, like, doing things the old way just looks better.
It does.
Right? Which we see a lot of times. And, that's a conversation that a lot of people our age will continuously carry on, is like, I miss practical. Like, we watch 80s horror for the practical. Well, this is all right. I don't know if you can call it practical. Can you call this practical? Because it's hand drawn.
Yeah,
and, the haptics are done. Okay. So it's practical.
Totally. I absolutely agree. And it's like, there's an idea of watching this movie and trying, it's like a magic trick, right? Like, it's not just zeros and ones, right? Like there are physical talents. There is practical solutions to how we make all of this work together. And again, it's like there's something about that makes it feel more approachable,
tangible, or practical,
and tangible, right? Like it's just like, you can make this movie now with digital effects, but it wouldn't feel the same. It just wouldn't.
No.
Well, I mean, the cartoons themselves wouldn't even look the same.
No, they wouldn't.
It really feels like a cartoon is walking, in the real world in this. If you use CGI, it'll have that same, like, you can tell it's just plastered on top of this.
It'll look hyper real. Yeah. And it's just like, well, no, that I don't believe that. And it's like, not like I believe that cartoons lived in the real world in this movie, but it feels like they do.
Yeah.
Right? Like your brain believes it.
Well, your brain has reconciled it all very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of quick things here about that first time where that line is broken. The director of the movie or of the cartoon is Joel Silver. Who
it is?
It's Joel Silver who about 9 years before this movie locked the screenwriter into a room to make him finish the script to Xanadu.
That's amazing.
Because goddamn it, he paid for it. He's gonna get his goddamn movie.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna get something out of this.
I know you might have another note, but we need to credit Alan Silvestri for the music in this. It's really good.
So good.
It's really good.
The other thing I was going to say, Chuck.
Alan Silvestri, though, I cannot hear any score by Alan Silvestri and not hear the Predator score. It's everything he's ever done. Is it in this? Fucking thing. Yes. It's
I don't know it well enough to make that connection.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It's always it's in every single one of his scores.
That's hilarious.
To go back to something you had said just a few minutes ago, Chuck, do you know how the cartoon's characters got into the Chinese restaurant?
No, how?
They walked in.
Good one, Jeff. Good one.
The something else. Speaking of another classic musical that we've covered on this, Betsy Brantley, the performance model for Jessica Rabbit, was in Shock Treatment. She actually is prominently in Shock Treatment. She's the one who welcomes everyone to Dentonvale.
Interesting. Here's one small note, and it cracked me up. The guy who has the hammer that shoots the boxing glove out of it.
Yeah.
In the early scene, he is in Top Secret. He is Val Kilmer's whatever agent or whatever, and he dies on a dildo.
Oh yeah, the jackhammer dildo. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's that guy who I've only now seen in 2 movies.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I like that.
I don't know. I just recognized him right away. I'm like, where have I seen him before? And then it occurred to me. We should just make the dildo reference our last reference and get out of here unless anyone else has something.
I mean, I don't know if I can top a dildo. I mean, that guy could. Until he died.
Topped him for as long as he could.
Yeah. Anything else? Do we have any? I mean, there's many more things we could say about this, I'm sure, but
I think we covered it pretty well. Like at least from my perspective, we covered all the angles I wanted to talk about and fairly extensively. I'm pretty happy with that. What we talked about.
Same.
Yeah. So next week we got Muppets. So we go from cartoons to Muppets.
Hell yeah.
Still interacting with regular people like everything's normal. I mean, Charles Grodin hates it, but here we are.
God, I love a good Charles Grodin movie. I'm excited to watch this.
I would say Charles Grodin would have worked in the Hoskins role.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, for sure. He's 100% that kind of guy. I agree with that.
Yeah. It would have worked.
I like it.
Yep.
So yeah.
Muppet. So we got the Great Muppet Caper next week. So beyond that, we'll talk a little bit about it at the end of next week's episode, but we got something lined up for the 2 weeks that are the holiday Wednesdays, the Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. It's going to be kind of the beginning of something slightly different at Film Seizure, where we're not going to have normal episodes every week. Now, you're going to get still mostly normal episodes, but we'll talk a little bit more about that next week. How's that sound, guys?
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. So, but first, December 17th, Wednesday, December 17th, go over to filmseizure.com. That's where you will find the Great Muppet Caper.
Hell yeah.
And then, you can also find all the places you can follow us on social media, where you can subscribe to us on various platforms where you can find, good podcasts like ours.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Dildos and whatnot. Not a good. It's not a good film season unless we bring up a dildo.
That's right.
And then also all those same places this upcoming Monday on Monster Mondays. That is Monday the 15th. I have an episode for you on Army of Darkness.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Funny story about that. Is that where would you rank that in the Evil Dead movies?
Third.
Well, which ones are you considering? The first three?
The first three. We'll say the first three.
I'd put it. I like it better than the first one, but not better than 2.
Okay. Yeah, the more I see that movie, the more it slides down. So yeah, I mean, Evil Dead 2 is just the best.
Evil Dead 2 is
for sure
away the best, and I like Evil Dead 1 a lot, but Evil Dead 2 is essentially the same movie but better. So I like watching Army of Darkness and Evil Dead 2 together because
you can
they have the same kind of zany goofiness going on. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I was just curious about it because I know some people think that's the best one.
No. Evil Dead 2, clearly the best.
Okay. This upcoming Friday at my website, bmovieanima.com, I have the first of a 2-parter of the films written by one Vivian Schilling, and I start with Soul Taker, Robert Zadar,
oh boy,
Joe Estevez. It was an MST3K classic, but wanted to watch it on Rift, and it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. Anyway, so that's at my website. Anyway, I think that pretty much does it.
I think so.
All right. Well, we got Muppets and we got Capers next week. And until then, I am Jeff Arbuckle.
I'm Chuck Moore.
I'm Jason Oliver, and you have been listening to Film Seizure.